Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Cause I'm a lady. This is my last time addressing Shanae Jenks. Cameron Newton. I just want to make it really clear as to what my issue is. It's not really an issue. I don't know the nigga, right? But what my problem with the words the things that he's been saying on his platform, Fourth and One. I don't give a shit if you like or dislike Jalen Hurts. Everybody's entitled to opinion. My brother don't like Jalen Hurts, and I'm an Eagles fan. I'm not gonna say, "Oh fuck you," you're not my brother. Like, who gives a fuck, right? It's okay. Everybody has their preference. Some people think that Jalen Hurts is good, which the facts back up that they are, but that's a whole different conversation. Some people think that he's being carried by the weapons he has on both sides of the ball. That's another conversation for another day, right? There's nothing wrong with being either or, right? Like, for instance, Steve Smith said that, Jalen Hurts is overrated. He's really not that guy. I still respect Steve Smith because of what he did in the league. I don't harbor nothing towards him. I think him and Brandon Marshall in that clip was wrong, but I don't hate them because that's what their stance, and that's fine. Here's my issue with Cam Newton. Okay? So, first and foremost, you're saying things on your platform that are facts that are just they're incorrect. You understand what I'm saying? It's like Jalen Hurts was on multiple occasions, even in 2023 when we had probably one of the worst 7 weeks of football in NFL history when we had that plateau. Man, it was some rough times. He's made plays multiple times in 2022 and whether or not he got the MVP or I think Mahomes got it doesn't fucking matter. In 2022, Jalen Hurts, without question, if you watch football and you're going to watch it from an unbiased perspective, Jalen Hurts was without question the best player in 2022. I don't give a shit if Mahomes won it, and I love Mahomes. Everybody know how much I love Mahomes. Mahomes is my favorite player of all time, past and present. But Jalen Hurts was without question the best NFL player in 2022, bar none. Period, point blank, and that man was on a fucking tear. You know what I'm saying? And then he had a great Super Bowl performance. Unfortunately, we came up short in that, right? So he already proved he could be the best player on the football team, right? He's already proven that. And he went through in 2023. He went through that gauntlet, and he was putting the team on his back. Now, granted, that drop in the Chiefs game was something else, but whatever. Who gives a shit? And even Brandon Graham went, I think, up to Josh Allen or somebody said, "Yo, watch number one came back," and he did. He put the team on his back and won the goddamn game in overtime. So when we say that, he don't have here's the reality situation. I don't give a shit what nobody has to say. I'm being totally honest with you. Jalen Hurts' issue is not his talent, is not his skill set. Does he have the biggest arm in the world? No, but he has a pretty damn good deep ball, and he puts it right in the breadbasket damn near every time. He's top 5 best deep ball throwers in the league. Doesn't have the biggest of arm, but he just puts shit in the right place. I don't really see too many deep passes from him that are just arid out. He puts it right in the breadbasket every fucking time. I've seen him do some amazing things, make some amazing plays. I think there was in a Miami game in 2023 when Hassan Reddick was going crazy against the run. He got hit. I'm talking about hit, and he still got the throw off. I don't know if it was the A.J. Brown or something else. So I've seen Jalen Hurts make some unbelievable plays with his arm. I do think as time goes along, he can work on throwing, being consistent, throwing on the run. But really, the biggest issue is his ability to play on timing. It's getting the ball out of his hands. Because when the blitz comes, he kind of does the same shit, rolls out to the right. And even when Tom Brady says it on damn near every telecast to the point where even though I echo the same sentence, I get fucking annoyed. His ability to play on timing on a consistent basis, I'm telling you right now, this guy plays on timing. He's top 3 quarterback, period. Like it's really him, Josh Allen, and Mahomes. He learns how to get the ball out of his hands and be more consistent with that, kind of like how he did against Pittsburgh. When he wore that big ass diamond and said this what y'all came to see, he plays like how he did in Pittsburgh every fucking game. He's going for 5,000 yards. He's throwing 40, 50 touchdowns. It's not a talent issue with Jalen Hurts. It never has been. Granted, in 2021, he has some ways to go, but he's improved. He's worked his ass off, and that work is put out there on the Swift football field. And the NFC Championship threw for 245 yards, and he outplayed the greatest quarterback in the league and got a Super Bowl MVP. So to speak in an objective fashion to say he's not a top 10 quarterback doesn't make any fucking sense. Because if you got a guy who everybody's all over Jayden Daniels for good reason, he's a very good young player. We'll see what year 2 has. We'll see what the sophomore year looks like. But Jayden Daniels is a pretty damn good player. All right, I'm not gonna take nothing away from Jayden Daniels. Shout out to him. But at the end of the day, he outplayed him through 245. Yes, the team let Daniels down. I don't give a fuck. The Eagles won. That's all that matters. Point being, Jalen Hurts proved the critics wrong, came back against Mahomes, outplayed Mahomes, got a Super Bowl ring, got a Super Bowl MVP. He has to be in your fucking top 10. He has to be. I'm sorry, and in no disrespect, I like Jared Goff despite what other people may think. I even liked him on the Rams. A lot of people said, oh, he's just a McVay merchant. No, he was really good. And even before he even got there, guys were dropping the ball. So I love Jared Goff. I love Jared Goff since he was first drafted. I just thought that, as over time he needed to be in a better situation. I think that it went from being in a better situation, experiencing better coaching, and having wide receivers that don't drop the ball. And then it came to a point about a mental toughness and fortitude that I feel like he had to go to Detroit to develop. And look at Jared Goff now. So I like Jared Goff a lot, but he was fucking hideous in that game. And low-key, he has the same fucking super team as us. Yes, defensively they had injuries, so they weren't entirely healthy. They had their best defensive player out in Aiden Hutchinson, and that makes a huge difference. But he still had a super team offensively, and he played like shit. He threw 5 interceptions, okay? Against the Commanders defense that was okay, right? Justin Herbert. Sometimes the receivers weren't doing what they're supposed to do. They need better receivers. And again, I'm not entirely confident Harbaugh's the guy. Good coach, but not for Herbert. Herbert needs to be a guy that needs to be able to put the ball down the field. Okay, they're drafting well with their offensive line. They're making some good picks, but to really take this team over the hump, you gotta allow Fields to throw that motherfucker. You can't do this little ground and pound West Coast bullshit. You got to be able to let him stretch the field, okay? But Herbert played hideous, and Herbert has not proved that he can get it done in the biggest of moments. Sorry, it is what it is. And here's the thing: right before they ended, right after the Super Bowl, he even said he was wrong. The guy, fucking Cam Newton, admitted he was fucking wrong. He admitted he was wrong. He admitted he was wrong about Jalen Hurts, and he admitted that he outplayed Mahomes, right? So how the fuck is it that you admit that you're wrong? There was not a single game played after that Super Bowl, okay? And then all of a sudden you flip and you say that Jalen Hurts is not a top 10 quarterback. How the fuck does it even make any sense? You felt the type of way about Jalen Hurts. You said that it was contentious between you and Jalen Hurts, right? And here's the thing, because you've been shit talking about the guy, you've been throwing shade, and then you want to interview the nigga, and I even said it on my motherfucking podcast and shit.
It's all about Cam Newton, but it's a huge eye opener to really see this person kind of for who he is, because it's just like I just can't respect the guy that was shit talking on a team and then want to sit up there and go interview the guy like everything's all good. Like, I don't like that shit. Like, I'm typing like, yo, keep that same energy. And if you're wrong, hey, look, man, I apologize. And I'm cool with that. But don't just act like that you was cooler all the time. Like, hey, what's up? Like, yeah, that motherfucker made his head. Like, that nigga quarterback, yo, that motherfucker, they should be running read options. Oh, Jalen, what's up, my guy? Hey, keep the main thing the main thing. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we had a purse before they had an opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit's fake as fuck to me. I don't like that.
That's shady as fuck. And at that point, you're being two-faced. That's why I called your ass Harvey Dent. Because you're two-faced. It's 1 minute you this way, next minute you that way. Like, you got to pick a side. I can respect if you said, I don't think Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback and left it at that. Not say, and go on platform, admit you were wrong. No game has been played since you admitted you were wrong, and then go and flip-flop back to what I felt like was your real opinion all along. That's not respectable. It's not. It's fake. It's fraudulent. It doesn't make you look good. Forget about the football team. It doesn't make you look good as a person. Okay? So that was the other issue. Then this recent shit that he's saying, right? So I guess him and Ryan Clark kind of been going back and forth. Whatever. That's bound to happen. It is what it is. Ryan Clark ethered his ass, like I said, prior. So it is what it is with that. So now moving forward, let's talk about why the fuck are you taking a shot at Jalen Hurts? So this basically how this nigga was. He was like, listen, I don't hate Jalen Hurts. But at the end of the day, Jalen Hurts can't do what the fuck I could have did. Like, his fucking tone was so goddamn passive aggressive, and you would have thought Jalen Hurts would have said something in his press conference yesterday at the first day of training. He didn't say shit to the nigga. He did not. There was not a single one response. There was no question asked about Cam Newton, nor was there a response that even mentioned his name. Why are you attacking Jalen Hurts for no reason? I could say a bunch of things he don't got. What the fuck? Like, what is that? What does that mean? It makes no fucking sense. Why are you attacking somebody that didn't say anything to you? So now it's off of objectivity about football, and now it's becoming personal. And I think you're upset because he's kind of a similar prototype as you. Maybe not as tall, but as far as like the play styles are somewhat similar. And in a way, Jalen Hurts is his own physical specimen because he can squat several hundred pounds, right? He's not as tall and you know, physically, like when you look at it, like he's muscular, you see it, but he's not, like his stature is not as much as Cam Newton, right? But he kind of has a similar plane, similar, right? So I think that you're upset because you look at Jalen Hurts, a guy who is somewhat your prototype, and you start thinking about what your organization didn't do for you. So you look at it like, damn, why the fuck I didn't have a defense? And no disrespect to Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis Sr., and some of the guys that were on there, and Josh Norman, that were good on there. So I'm not talking about them. But, you know, as a whole unit, that defense was not consistent. Let's just keep it real. Like, really, their best defense was, the best defensive unit statistically was the year that Cam Newton got the MVP and went to the Super Bowl and lost, right? So that bothers you. And you probably felt like in your head that, damn, I should have got what Jalen Hurts got. Imagine if I had what Jalen Hurts had and what I would have done, right? So that's what you're thinking in your head. But what the fuck does that got to do with Jalen? It has nothing to do with that, right? If you want to go out and say that, you can go out and say that. Nobody's going to care. And some people are probably going to agree with you. But don't sit up there and try to put all of your disappointment about you not diving on the football, people addressing you about it, about you didn't dive on the football. Maybe, like, you know, you felt like offensively you didn't get enough weapons on the O-line, the wide receiver core, whatever it may be. I feel like you look at the Eagles and felt like that, damn, how would it have been in my career? How different would the story would have been if I had Jalen Hurts' weapons? And that's why I think you're attacking him, man. I don't think it has anything to do with Jalen Hurts. I think that you're looking at your career as a whole, and you're thinking about what could have been had you had a roster like that. And another thing, too, you have to have taken less money. You have to have taken less money. And here's the thing. Christian McCaffrey, no disrespect, Christian McCaffrey came in as a receiving back. He had raw talent, but running-wise, it took him a little bit of a while to get going. As far as being a legitimate running back, like he was good out the backfield, like he clearly could catch. He had some talent, but consistent running was, you know, he didn't really get there by the time he was on the team with Cam Newton, right? I think maybe when Cam Newton left the Panthers, I think that's when he started coming into his own, being a little bit more strong of a runner. Also, he had a lot of injuries as well during that time. Another thing too, why the fuck are you attacking Dan Orlovsky? What the fuck did Dan Orlovsky say to you to make you go after him? He didn't say shit to you. He literally just said, Jalen Hurts is the man. Whether anybody like it or not, Super Bowl MVP, got the championship. He's the man right now. Mahomes is my GOAT, but Jalen Hurts is the man. Let's keep it real. But he just said that you got to go through the Eagles, which you do. They didn't defend the champs. It is what it is, right? I know Jordan Mailata said otherwise, but they're the defending champs. It is what it is, right? They're the reigning champs. You got to go through them. And he said that, Jalen Hurts is the number one quarterback in the league. That's all the fuck he said. He didn't say nothing else about you. He didn't even mention your fucking name. So why are you getting on Dan Orlovsky? And you said, oh, since everybody want to make it personal, I'll make it personal. Dan Orlovsky didn't say a fucking word to you, nigga. The fuck is you talking about? And even I have a problem with Dan Orlovsky because sometimes that nigga be flip-flopping like a motherfucker. That nigga be flip-flopping like he on a fucking, a goddamn beach resort. So sometimes I have a problem with Dan Orlovsky. But at the end of the day, to do that, it's just lame. But at the end of the day, I'm not talking about Cam Newton. He is going to do whatever he's going to do to take advantage of this viral moment. Because the reality situation is, while he had a I'll tell you this much. He had a great football career. Not going to take that away from him. He didn't have a great NFL career. He had a very good NFL career. He didn't have a great NFL career. He's a fringe Hall of Famer. He's not a solidified Hall of Famer. He's a fringe Hall of Famer. Okay? Yes, weapons-wise, the Carolina front office should have did more for you. I can agree on that. But the reality situation is, you didn't dive on that football, and you struggled to complete 60% of your passes. These are facts. Jalen Hurts consistently completes 60% of his passes, been to the Super Bowl twice, played great in those Super Bowls, and got a ring. It is what it is. And that's all I got to say. This will be the last time I do a video about Cam Newton. I don't give a fuck. He can say Jalen Hurts is really the worst quarterback, and he's all. He can say 10,000 fucking things that I won't make a video about it at all whatsoever. I may make a comment on my story if I even feel like doing that, but I'm not giving this nigga no more of my attention. Peace.